What up, though? What up, though? Good morning. Welcome to the Pick Your Side podcast, where we just keep it real and we just be honest here. This week episode, I want to talk about imposter syndrome. Have you ever walked in a room and just felt like you didn't belong? Have you ever just felt like everybody else belonged in that room and you was the outcast? Just be real with yourself. Have you ever just started second guessing yourself when you get in certain environments because you don't see nobody that look like you, that talk like you, that came from where you came from? So now you questioning your skills, your worth, your experience, and just your upbringing. A lot of people feel like this. That's what you call imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're not qualified enough for the thing that you're going after, even though you put in all the hard work, even though you stayed up hours on hours preparing, you studied, you did research, or whatever you need to do to be in that room. This episode, I'm just going to show you a couple of reasons why people deal with imposter syndrome, and I'm also give you some tips on how you can overcome that and you can just be yourself in any room that you want. Imposter syndrome is like when you just feeling like you're a fraud, you don't belong there, or you're not capable of doing the work, even though you're more qualified than everybody else in that room. That's when people start self-sabotaging, where they start saying things like, I'm not good enough, I'm just lucky, I don't deserve to be here. So instead of them celebrating their success, they downplay it. Instead of them owning their progress, they minimize it. But I'm here to just let you, just because you're in an unfamiliar place doesn't mean that you don't belong there. It just means that you have to become comfortable in that area. So you have to just keep on growing. And you can't downplay that, because the moment you start self-sabotaging, you're going to start reverting back to your own ways. Well, the moment you start self-sabotaging, you're going to start reverting back to your old ways. And then you're going to end up back in a place that you don't want to be in, because you talk yourself out of being in the room that you're currently in. So now I'm going to give you 4 reasons why people deal with imposter syndrome, and I'm going to break them all down. Number 1 is environment. Number 2 is comparison. Number 3 is perfectionism. And number 4 is old labels. So a lot of people deal with imposter syndrome. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons of why they do that. My first point that I want to touch on is your environment. You probably came from an environment where they lack growth, or you just came from a hating environment. If we just being real, you start telling people your dreams, they start downplaying your dreams, telling you that you're not good enough, telling you that people that come from where y'all come from don't make it there. So you probably didn't see other entrepreneurs. You probably didn't see successful leaders. You probably didn't see good dads. Whatever it is that you're going after, you probably didn't see that in your environment. And then the people that did make it out, they eventually got pulled back for whatever reason that is. We call that the crab in the bucket mentality, where your environment will suck you back in if you let it. So growing up in an environment like that, when you constantly hearing this and you constantly hearing people downplaying your success or talking bad about you, that can play a part of how you feel about yourself. So when you do get in that room, you start doing some of the things that I mentioned earlier, saying that you're not good enough or you don't belong here because you don't see nobody that came from your environment in that same room. The second point that I wanted to go with was comparison. We comparing our day-to-day life to somebody highlight tape. We comparing our start to somebody finish line. You don't know how long that person been doing the things that they doing. Regardless of if it's the same thing that you want to do, you don't know what they had to do. You don't know how many sleepless nights they had. You don't know what trials and tribulations they had in their journey. But because we want something so quick, we'll disrespect all the progress and all the work that we put in because we want to be where somebody else is at. You have to find joy in the journey. You have to enjoy what you're doing and love what you're doing and just be patient. It's not on our time. We're going to eventually get to where our idols are, or the people we look up to, or the people who inspire us. But we got to run our own race. We can't be looking at nobody else's hand. You need to be tunnel vision, looking straight forward, and just worry about your progress. If you keep looking at somebody else's highlight tape, you never going to feel like you're good enough, because you're going to see all your flaws and you're gonna see all the mistakes you make on a day to day. So let's stop doing that. And that's gonna lead me to my third point. And the third reason is professionalism. We want everything to be perfect. We want to be perfect people. We want everything to happen on our time and just when we want it to happen and how we want it to happen. So when you live a life like that, any mistake that you make is just gonna magnify your self-doubt. You're gonna just start questioning yourself, and that's when that imposter syndrome kick in. Because now you're thinking that you're not good enough. Look, we humans, we all make mistakes. We all gonna fall short sometimes. But the most important thing is making progress. I like to tell people, think about it like this. If you take 10 steps forward and you get knocked back 5 steps, when you get out your feelings, you realize that you still 5 steps ahead of where you was at 2 months ago or even 2 years ago. So don't focus on being perfect. Focus on making progress and being consistent and fighting through what you need to fight through. And the fourth reason why people deal with imposter syndrome is maybe because of your childhood and just old labels. Like growing up, somebody probably told you that you wasn't smart enough. Somebody told you that you wasn't good enough to do something. Or somebody just probably told you straight up that you wouldn't amount to anything. I remember my teachers, family members, police officers all telling me that when I was younger. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes if I make a mistake, I can still hear them voices in my head. But you gotta start reaffirming yourself, like I told you in the previous episode, so that you can block all that out and you can keep going after what you want to go after. So if you're still dealing with imposter syndrome, I'm here to reaffirm you. You do deserve to be in that room. You do deserve all the great things that's happening to you. You do deserve the life that you have or the life that you're going after. Everything that you went through in life, all the steps that you had to take, all the obstacles that you had to overcome prepared you for this moment. So instead of you questioning yourself and your self-worth and saying that you don't belong, I want you to embrace it and walk in there confidently and show the world who you are and show the world your greatness. We at the point of the episode where I give you a couple of steps of how we can overcome imposter syndrome. Number one is to gather evidence. So what I need you to do, I need you to start tracking all your wins. The small ones, the medium ones, the large ones. Make sure you write them down and you keep them nearby because you're going to need them. Any message that you get from somebody that said that you helped them along the journey or they was inspired or motivated by you, I want you to keep that as well, because when that doubt starts to creep in, I want you to be able to pull back from that, and I want you to be able to use that. Second part of it is separate the feelings from the facts. So your feelings gonna say things like you don't belong there or you're not good enough. But the fact of the matter is you put the work in, you prepared, and you accomplished things already in that thing that you're doing and in the room that you're in. You already shining your light. You got people that's giving you testimonies of how you inspired and motivated them. You uplifted them. You helped them on the job. You helped them get to the next level of their life. So instead of you being in your feelings, just lean on the facts. And the third thing that you can do is renew your mind daily. Pray, read your affirmation, read scriptures. That's why I dropped the episode about affirmations, because it's important you have them things, but also make sure you got some people that's praying for you that can pour life into you, because you're going to need it when that doubt creep in. This one, my fourth point, stop shrinking in rooms that you prayed to enter. Let me say that again for you. Stop shrinking in rooms that you prayed to enter. You prayed to God day after day to be in this room or to have this opportunity. Not only did you pray, you put in the work. You bust your butt. You did everything that you needed to do. You went down that checklist. You accomplished everything. You lost things on this journey. You overcame things. You almost wanted to quit, but you didn't. You showed up and showed out. So I need you to walk in that room with your head held high. Show your personality. Show the world who you are. Because you do belong in that room. And that's not being arrogant. That's just being confident. But man, that's the episode. So you know how I end each and every episode. I just want to just leave you with this. We all gonna deal with imposter syndrome. The higher you go up, the more that doubt gonna creep in. It's gonna come back. It's gonna try to make you revert back to who you used to be. It's gonna make you second guess yourself. It's gonna make you want to quit and give up. But you can't do that, man. You can't disrespect that. So my question for you, I need you to pick your side. Are you gonna keep dimming your light? Or are you gonna keep feeling like you don't belong? Or are you gonna walk in that room confidently and you gonna own that room and do whatever it is that you want to do because you put that hard work in? The choice is yours. But thank you for listening to this. Thank you for checking out this episode. If you can share, comment, subscribe, that'd be a blessing. All right, let me see. So we at the end of the episode. You know how I ended. I need you to pick your side. Are you gonna just keep dimming your light, or you gonna just keep telling yourself that you don't belong in this room, even though you put in the work to be there? Or are you gonna walk in there confidently with your head held high, and are you gonna just own that room and just take it over? The choice is yours. You pick your side. But man, have a great day. Thank you for checking this out. If you can, share, subscribe, comment, and have a great rest of the day. So you know how I end every episode. I need you to pick your side. Are you gonna just keep self-sabotaging and letting imposter syndrome hinder you and stop your growth? Or are you gonna walk in that room confidently, you belong in there because you do, and do whatever you need to do to continue having success in your life? The choice is yours. I need you to pick your side. Comment your answer. Also, subscribe and share this. Thank you for taking your time out to listen to this podcast and any other podcast episode of mine that you listen to. I appreciate each share, comment on anything that I'm doing. I greatly appreciate you. But man, have a great week. See you next week.